Hi, this is Chase back again with another video from FTC 18172 Uplift Robotics, and this is beginning CAD tutorial number 6, where we are going to be covering 4 useful tips and kind of just tricks and tools that we use on a daily basis in PTC Creo that we haven't talked about in previous tutorials. So the 4 topics we're going to be covering are the repeat tool, rendering out your designs, changing views to add edges so you can see the edges on your models, and adding a part view in assemblies. So with that said, let's get started. So first here, I am going to show you this channel. We're going to do the repeat tool first. So what I'm going to do actually is make a new assembly with this channel here, so I can kind of demo everything for you. So we'll just call this demo assembly. And from there, what we are going to do is we are going to assemble. I'm going to add that channel I wanted to use, which is this channel. I'm going to set this default all. All right, so now, so first we'll do the repeat first. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you a couple things with repeat, is I'm going to actually add this bearing in that I want to repeat into all of the holes. And then in there, I'll be able to show you what the other thing is that I want to show you here. There's my bearing. All right, so one thing you'll notice is the bearing is over here. And kind of the problem with that is if I want to get it in this hole, I have to do a lot of zooming in and zooming out. So one super cool tool that Creo actually has is this button right here. If you click on it, it'll actually show you a close-up view of the part where you can actually select things. So if I want it in this hole, I would select the ring there, and then I can actually just click here and it moves itself. I don't have to scroll back and forth like I was previously. And I can kind of do that all around. So it makes it super easy to do things in a much more efficient manner, because I can actually view my bearing in the top right corner and click on the actual channel in the bottom left. So that is that part view I mentioned earlier. So now that I've shown you that, I'm actually going to go ahead and do the repeat now. So with repeat, what it actually does, it allows you to repeat constraints. So let's say I wanted to add a bearing to every single hole on this channel. Well, the problem is there are almost like there's 11 holes on each side. So that's 22 bearings. I don't want to do what I just did 22 times. So what I'm actually going to do is if I right click here, you'll see a button that says repeat. And if I click repeat, what I can do is select the surfaces that I need to repeat. So since I'm actually going to do this on the same surface here, I only need to select the ring. And I know that I did the ring before the surface. So if I select just the ring here and I hit add, every circle that I click, it will just repeat the bearing. So I can do that all the way down if I really want to. And then let's say I needed to do some on the other side, and you notice I have to change the surface. So I can't just click the ring here, because it will actually, see if I click the ring here, it's going to put it over there. And I don't want it to do that. So what I'm going to do is if I hit add here, if I click the second bar and I hit add, then I can actually do both. So I can click, if it'll let me here, yeah. So I can click the first surface and then I can click the other one, and that allows me to do it that way. So the repeat tool you can do either way. So then I could go, since I now have both, and I could add one here as well. Repeat tool just allows you to kind of repeat your constraints faster, because you don't actually have to click anything on the bearing. You would just have to click it on the channel. So it saves a lot of time in that way. So I've managed to put in, let's see, 9 bearings in the time frame that it would take you to probably do 2 normally. So that helps a lot. So the next tool I want to show you is the edges, the kind of show edges tool. So one thing you'll notice on these channels is if you're at a certain angle, it's really hard to kind of see the different holes. So what you can do is if you go to this toolbar up here and you click this kind of cube, and you'll see there's something that says shading with edges. So normally you just have shading on by default, and what the edges do is it actually pronounces all the edges. So you see how it actually darkened all of the edges on this model, which allows us to see a lot better. So it's not super like aesthetically pleasing, but it is super helpful if you have something like a channel or a plate that has a lot of holes that kind of overlap and you can't see a good definition of them. That's another tool that will save you tons of time just as you use it. So the last thing I want to show you, I'm not going to go super in depth with it, but I just want to briefly kind of glance over it here. It's super useful for taking nice photos of your robot, and when you go to higher level competitions, that you will immediately be able to tell a difference between someone that has used the render tool and someone who has not used the render tool. So I'm just gonna not really go over the settings. I'm just going to shut this off so you can see it a little better. And what I'm going to do is hit Render Studio here. And what this will actually do is render the metal, if you have the material selected, to look like it would in the real world. This is obviously a little higher gloss than a channel actually is, but it makes your designs significantly better looking, especially when you have large assemblies. It makes it look much like a real world kind of scenario, and you can change the scenes and appearances. So I can put it on a road if I wanted to. There's all sorts of different things you can do to kind of make your robot stick out a little bit more, especially on paper, and make it a lot more attractive and better looking to the eye. So with that said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to stay tuned for more videos, and thank you for watching.